Hello, my name is Jeremy, and if you're clicking on this video, you're interested in my journey, my experience, my transparent moments and ranting of attaining my Doctor of Business Administration online. I wish that there were videos that gave the student experience transparent and realistic of what it's like to study at the doctorate level. I will start this video with saying I hit a mental block where I literally could not write. And I realized that when I kept reading the same thing over and over and over again, slower and slower, and I could not articulate what I just read in my own words. This experience has challenged me in ways that I knew would make me question if it was worth the journey, but to experience it as you're in the journey and embracing the journey and reflecting over the journey is totally different than saying it's going to be challenging, right? And I'm not saying that to scare anyone. I just want to, again, give you a transparent, realistic expectation of what it's like. It's not easy. But it is worth it. There are muscles that you develop. There is a sense of resiliency, a mental fortitude that you gain as a result of seeing the journey through. And that's one of my whys. That's one of the things that is giving me motivation in order to get through this very challenging program. I said that I hit a mental block. I've said this before in other videos, but I have to re-emphasize. You have to be in alignment with your topic, mind, heart, and soul. And if you are not, it is going to show up in the form of procrastination. You are going to be stressed. You are going to have sleepless nights, more so than you would if you are aligned with your topic, mind, heart, and soul. Remember that your why is critically important because it gives you a North Star. It gives you a sense of motivation. It helps you to get momentum going, and it is up to you to do things or select things within the program specific to your topic of your dissertation or capstone that increase that momentum and increase that motivation. I'm currently on a 2-week break. I'm on week 2 of the 2-week break, and I didn't realize until this point that I was putting myself through unnecessary stress. Studying at any level is going to be stressful as you go up levels to graduate, and then studying at your doctor, it just increases, right? But me originally selecting a topic that I wasn't aligned with in all ways made it more stressful. So in full transparency, I shared that I had switched my topic, right? So imagine, if you will, spending multiple classes doing research on a topic that you're not interested in, going through 30 to 40 to 50 articles, maybe even more, extracting information about what the different bodies of literature say, the gaps in the literature, and putting a lot of effort and energy into something, and then realizing this isn't going to work because I don't want to do it, and then having to redo all of that work over Christmas break, and then still doing the work required of the class that you're in, right? That's a lot. I compacted so much information in my brain that eventually I hit a wall and could not write. And when I submitted assignments, I got very transparent and honest feedback from my dissertation chair. And I'm glad that I got that, because it was a wake-up call that not only is the road going to be challenging a little bit more for me than maybe my peers, because there's something extra that I'm going to have to work on, and I'm up for the journey. I'm up for the challenge, I should say. So again, you have to be in alignment with your topic. Imagine, if you will, whatever your end goal is, and let's say it's to attain a certain position within a company or to start your own company. The project that you're doing, the dissertation that you're doing, needs to aid you in getting to that. And if it doesn't, then I would question why you're going with that topic, right? Especially knowing that you have to have a certain level of dedication, motivation, and momentum to get through it. For me, I want to be a junior HR executive and eventually open up my own consulting firm. So I imagine myself handing all of my work that I'm doing in this program over to potential hiring managers and needing to have a certain level of exposure to the topics that I'm talking about, that it comes across as genuine when I talk about the topics to them. And it comes across as me being maybe not an expert, but at least the ability to have in-depth conversations to the point where they would create opportunities for me or be willing to take a risk on me in hiring me for future opportunities. So, and I'm emphasizing that specific example because, again, I want you to take a realistic and transparent internal survey of if you're willing to go through what it's required to get through whatever program you decide to get through. I'll also express the importance of giving yourself grace and having a mental health plan with a support system. Giving yourself grace is important because for me, I'm not aiming to get a perfect 4.0 GPA, and allowing myself the space to say, you know what, I did not get the best grade on that assignment, but I got across the finish line, makes it easy for me to focus on what I'm trying to get out of the assignment and work those certain muscles and learn from the experience compared to being distracted by getting a certain GPA, right? I hope that makes sense. And it is that grace that I give myself that allows me to not focus or be stressed out about a certain grade point average or a certain grade, right? Whether I get a 4.0 GPA, 3.5, or 3.0, whatever the minimum is. And of course, I'm not aiming to get the minimum in my program. But if I meet the minimum requirement, I walk across the stage, right? If I exceed the requirement, I walk across the stage. As long as I am getting what I need in order to pull me closer to my why, I'm good, right? Do it with integrity and meet the requirements, get across the finish line. A mental health plan is important because there are so many emotions that I've gone through and have experienced, and ensuring that you have a mental health plan allows you guardrails or guides to take certain action when you experience certain things, so that way you don't have a breakdown. I could easily see if someone's not taking care of themselves, having issues, whether it's mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever it might be, if they aren't taking care of their mental health. So before you even enroll in a program, make sure that you have a mental health plan. How are you going to take care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever way, that allows you to have balance and allows you to sustain your momentum and motivation that you need for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years of research, right? Your support system, whether it's friends, family, a significant other, whomever, need to have the permission to say, I'm concerned about you, or what do you need from me, or at least be aware that during the time frame that you're in the program, you may not be all that you have been for them because your focus and your concentration is on getting through this journey. But they also have to have, again, permission and license to say, I'm concerned about you. Hey, are you focused on your mental health plan? When are you taking a break? I think you should go to the movies. I think you should take yourself out to eat, whatever it might be, just so they can make sure that you're good. Because you need that cheerleader, that cheering squad. If you find someone in your program that you connect with, become motivation partners, right? I have somebody who I text with on a regular basis to say, ooh, like this assignment was more than I thought, or I didn't get the best grade, but I'm glad I got through it, or I did better than I thought I was going to do. Like that person to say, hey, am I reading this assignment correctly, or what's your approach, will help you get through the program. Don't do it alone. Another thing that I would say is establish relationships with your dissertation chair early on, as well as your professors, because ultimately they are the people that have to approve everything, right? And developing relationships to me is important because I need transparency. I need directness. So that way I know exactly what I need to do in order to meet the requirements and get across the finish line. I talked about networking in previous videos, so I'll re-emphasize it as well. Networking is important because, again, in order for your why to be answered, you're probably going to need a network of some sort. So while you're in the program, take people along the journey with you if you feel comfortable doing so. So that way they see your growth and you're not waiting until you're already across the finish line, or you're not waiting until you're across the finish line to start the networking, because then that would like delay the process of you getting to your why, compared to taking them on the journey with you and having those opportunities or those relationships established and saying, hey, I'm done. How can I be of service, or how can I add value? So I am already establishing those relationships, those partnerships, those mentors, those sponsors, those allies as I'm going throughout my program. I'll probably rewatch this video and see if I need to add something onto it, but I hope that what you've taken away from this is a realistic expectation of what it's like to experience a block and the importance, a writer's block or mental block, and the importance of being in alignment with your topic, mind, heart, and soul, because your why is going to give you a sense or a certain momentum or a certain motivation, but the alignment that you have with your topic enhances or takes away from that motivation or that momentum. And you need motivation and momentum, or more of it, to get through reading 30, 40, 50 or more articles that are 20, 30, 40, 50 pages long, that are super dense and written by people who have probably been studying the topic for years. You're going to need that, right? Hopefully you also take away the importance of giving yourself grace, allowing yourself to be human, protecting your mental health and having a support system, being consistent with your mental health plan, networking. And again, I'll emphasize the importance of being in alignment with your topic and being consistent with your mental health plan. I wish that I could come up with an analogy that would help you understand what it's like to scrape through the material. I think there's an Olympic sport, I think it's called curling, if I'm not mistaken, when you're on the ice and you see people taking the brush and like scraping the ice, and they're doing it as a team. Well, imagine that you're having to do that through the articles that you're reading in order to see what the literature is saying, the body of literature is saying as a whole, and also finding the gaps in the literature. And you're having to do that for hours at a time. Eventually you're going to get tired, right? So that's what I would liken combing through the materials to, the Olympic sport of curling. And because, again, you're going to get tired eventually mentally, because it's a lot of information that you're soaking in. You need to be really motivated and aligned, or excuse me, you need to be really aligned with your topic, so that way you have that enhanced sense of motivation and momentum to get through it. Man, I I literally at one point in time, and I think I started the video out this way, was reading the same paragraph 2, 3, 4 times, and I kept saying, what did I just read? And I knew at that point in time I was mentally not able to do more. And I just turned in my assignment and I got some honest feedback, and it was what it was. But I know that I am committed to seeing this journey through the end. And I know that, again, the muscles that I am building, the resiliency that I'm building, the mental fortitude that I'm gaining as a result of this journey is going to be well worth it. So again, I'll probably watch this video again to see if there's anything that I want to add on to it and add it on to the end of this video. But again, if you don't take anything from this video, take away being in alignment, mind, heart, and soul with your topic, and having a mental health plan that you are disciplined about and consistent with executing on. Have a great day.